When we actually look about and see beyond our own noses and our selfish attitudes about the human species, we see a vast realm of living entities interconnected to each other in a landscape worthy of vast and thoughtful contemplation. Planning on such a high level boggles the mind of the average student of this existence. Going beyond is the ideal. Few have invested the time or the imaginative energy to project such a condition of knowing life's totality. Due to complexity, its makeup suggests a multifaceted dimensional realm so well coordinated that it exists due to some overlording system of laws intertwined to the ultimate and highest degree. Learning about this means of overlording and how it impacts our experiences here is the most difficult of all endeavors. The background system seems to incorporate mind in the form of a passionate intellect, for it permeates every elemental of this realm called life. I call this expansive system the background sphere, which is a pravortex that creates, builds and supervises everything that we as entities discern as reality. David Bohm, Einstein's protégé, called this background the generative order, where elementals issued forth into the physical world to become our reality. It is the hidden, hollow-spirited backroom of existence, a broadcast of expansive information, including its carriers throughput to us, the receivers. This realm hides the inner and outer workings that most of us take for granted. While our bodies, the planet, the universe percolates along, pumping out a physical realm for us to enjoy, we seem to be intellectually along for the proverbial ride and never consider the workings of this system that supports us in the background of virtually every reality that we experience. We did just enough to get along. This thing we live is whereby we even exist in this state of being and becoming here in time-space. It is like a genetic genesis that expresses itself from an implicate order hidden outside of reality that watches over every subtlety of a changing expression of reality. We live within an information float not unlike a sophisticated holographic universe. The common man throughout history has long overlooked this system of the hidden order, by merely looking after his own interests and experiencing a constant state of adulation for self-gratification. Politicos try to keep us focused on ourselves and their dictates. Man is more concerned with the little realms that impact his direct and frontal experience, the experience of the self and its needs. If we are to become the super agents of a future world, we must learn of this vast otherworld hidden by our own selfish interests while we traverse this fantastic panorama of burgeoning creativity and animation. We need to explore beyond our own being to discover the why of this massive program of existence. Add Google AdSense 300 times 250 blue. Humanity could be so much more if he were educated on a higher level and every stage of each individual were to dovetail within our own points of departure as we participate with life. To interface with individual differences at the start would point to an amplified learning. We are all facets of this giant hologram. Apparently, we must seek more worth and push our minds to the limit in order to achieve the ultimate worthiness. The point of all the above is that we must educate the inclinations of the total person if we are to become more and heretofore we have not as a participating humanity. In order to accomplish this, we must interface with humanity's individual differences through a flexible method, communications, technology and creative holistic Gestalt philosophy. We need to collect all these individual differences into a collective within a higher paradigm in order to know it. Existence is so much more and requires deeply thought or reason. It seems the ancient Egyptians knew this and taught it long ago. They sought the mystery of the daily experience. Everything had a message and was usually twofold. Their reference book was the Book of Nature, and discernment of its idiosyncrasies started with the seeds of being and becoming. To them a seed was highly mystical by offering all that was manifest initially as a template of inspiring departure. Everything that existed was more than the apparent and highly integrated on multiple levels. The hero on the potential deepness of the ancient Egyptians is R. A. Schwaller de Lubakas. Our amplification as to how their minds worked on the highest levels comes from his research into their mindsets. He stated, "It is the wonder of the world. Everything that is, all that exists has seed just as will and thought of the seeds of mental creation." He continued, "One thought of the transcendent power compels one substance of the universal substance, passive, awaiting any seed, to become a specific product, an inheritor, a world that follows upon a world. One soul power in one soul substance works through all the transitory finalities toward the foreseen finality man. And at the end of humanity comes man without body, substance within power." In Lubitsch's final statement of the above he indicates this, not to be, then to be, and then to be no more is the pulsation that constitutes the apparent universe, the transitory finalities. Power, idea, form, finality, powers without form. These are the vital alternations, the cosmic pulsations. The law of Genesis establishes the unvarying rhythm in the succession of stages, the transitory finalities, between the idea and the thing. Also, the organs that assimilate through air, liquids, and solids, as well as the organs that inform through intelligence and the senses, are the issue of an energy of the same nature as the object they assimilate or experience. The indisputable reality of the evident mystery that makes visible the invisible and ponderable the imponderable is the verb of wisdom. The invariance of the law of Genesis is the basis of traditional philosophy. Any research undertaken without these guides leads to an impasse or to nothing. R. A. Schwaller de Lubac. Few of us in modern-day learning situations can comprehend the great minds of our day. We have been fed the puke of disdain from those who seek to position us as children. Our schools are staffed by rules and regulations from staffers of the same mindset. We need greatness in this day and time, but now we have lost the edge of even knowing greatness due to efforts to make everything into a level playing field. If we are facets of a massive holographic universe broadcast from the tree of life via our godhood, then we are each an expression of the entire fabric of design and makeup of the artifact of wisdom. Mind carries the message of our very being and becoming. We need to amplify everything. The deep schools of learning must return. To ponder deepness has, in these recent generations of man, been put down and belittled by those who wish to dumb us all into submission as slavery toward their brand of manipulated existence. Instead of this fate, we must rise up and become our ultimate and highest being, thus thwarting their attempts to corner us. To do this, we must re-educate ourselves and become by doing the following: amplified communications toward deep study, teach symbolically or visually to those who have language problems, right brain dominance, teach through simulation of process, teach via special effects and presentation graphics, science and math symbols representation, teach through interactive integrated menu-driven thresholds, hypertext and hyperworld concepts, teach through expressive sophentry methodology as well as tough love, teach through heightened visual excitement and entertaining programming, edutainment, teach via transpersonal psychology, teach via individually developed student presentations with multimedia tools, teach via access to current data vendors and networks, teach via access to educational bulletin boards, teach through outside research provisions allowing students to go to the world to seek answers, teach through increased business interfaces and agreements, teach through home community video DVD store or internet augmentation to homework, teach via real-life or lifelike experiences, teach via showmanship, marketing, and increased dialogue establishment, teach through simulation of values, social mores, and respect, programmed examples to learn by doing from a master. All of this is amplified by opening the end of learning to point to the future. Learning via the means above would start humanity toward the threshold of the background spheres of existence where higher realms of each and every thought process emulated in the living universe is represented. In knowing this, we may then step into the expression of the timeless generation of the implicate order of the all.